Our readers want to know what the hell happened to you.
You've never been free. Forget the music.
Your voice will not return.
I am in control.
I will sing when I am ready to sing.
I, like these folks, have now witnessed what you put on the screen with this performance, and I was spellbound by it from the moment I saw it. But I'm curious, how did the journey begin for you? And was there any gut check moments? Because that was a lot.
There were so many moments along the way that I had to check myself. Most of all, I just, when you play a real person, it's a responsibility to another human being. She's somebody I admire, and she's somebody, the more I would read about and learn about, I felt that there was so much that wasn't understood, and I was quite sad thinking that when she passed, she was carrying a lot of pain and didn't feel very supported or loved. It means a lot when I feel that she may be seen, you're not responding to me, is that you're responding to her in many ways, and that means a great deal because I believe she deserves it.
One of the things I was sort of struck by, and I noticed this in your performance, is how you changed the way you held yourself at various different points in the film. And I thought that was just such an interesting choice, how she held herself in her early days versus how she held herself later. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that part of the physical transformation before we get into what you and Adruitha did in the makeup chair.
Well, a lot of for about 7 months, I had training. I started with posture and breathing, and singing classes and Italian classes, and then opera. A lot of it is body. So much, you have to be like an athlete to sing opera, and I really kind of understood a lot and found her through the music and through the process of the music, thinking that this was something she did when she was so young, and this is what she loved. You know, quite young when she died in her early 50s, but she had many health issues, and so I know that affected her body. The way she was in pain, but also just the weakness and how it would affect her singing. So a lot of it was that. It was the less kind of a posture and more like the physical strength of somebody who couldn't get that sound out at a certain point.
How much did you want to lean into what you'd seen in pictures, and how much did you want to maybe show some things that were less? No, Adruitha.
So when Angie and I talked, when we were doing the cast for the wig, and we were drawing how it was going to look. I mean, Angelina had a lot to do with, let's do this. We dropped the hairline so that it would be more of Maria's hairline. We talked about colors and different things like that. I didn't want it to be about what I was doing. I just wanted what I was doing to be a part of the story and a part of the performance, and not stand out, but at the same time, be proud of what we had done.
Ed, I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that we're using black and white and some of the different lenses for the throwback sections, and how you and Mr. Lorraine sort of talked about what you wanted to do. And again, re-teaming after The Count, El Conde, this has got to be it's a very different look.
Well, there's different textures in the film, and this is something that Pablo brought to it, where there's the Super 8, which was where she had the most intimacy with the people that she trusted. And then her memory is in the black and white. And I shot with lenses that were from that time period. Her imagination, which is Super 16, and then color, the later part of her life. So I think through the editing, and what Pablo did is the hardest thing to do visually is to enter the interior world of the character, even as she so brilliantly, performed that and kept an enigma about who she was, that we were able to cut between these different worlds, I think allowed hopefully the audience to enter the interior world of the character. And that, to me, is always what I'm striving for with this director, is how you find the interior world and how you express that visually as a visual metaphor. And we did that through, I would say, the camera's kind of objective but reflective, the way an audience would view an opera. Maria Callas even said, "The stage is my mind and my soul is the opera."
Wow. Wow. You can tell when you guys speak, all of you, when you speak, how much details went into all of this. But for you, Miss Angelina Jolie, ma'am, I want to say, I can't call you by your first name. I just can't. It's too personal. For you, she had to be Maria. She had to be a character that you could live in and breathe in at various points in her life. And through all of your research, I'm sure there was a moment where she stopped being Maria Callas and she started being somebody you can embody. I'm curious, what was that moment where you finally felt it? Was it a scene? Was it pre-production? Was it maybe afterwards? I don't know. We know you did it, so.
I think I found Maria early. I think Maria Callas came later. I heard about this person who never listened to her own music, and in the last week of her life listened to her music and was alone. I listened to her interviews, the first when she was younger and supported, in these beautiful interviews in the 60s where they ask you about your process for an hour, and it's gorgeous. And then I watched her last interview where it was very mean and unsupportive and looking for gossip. And I kept seeing everybody's interpretation and view of this human being. I found her deeply human, but to feel I deserved to be on that stage wearing her outfit, singing those songs, that was terrifying.
I feel, and this is true for, I think, most performers or all performers, that she couldn't achieve in her personal life what she had in her public life, that she had the adoration and love of many, but what she sought and desired was the love of the few, of her mother. And then what her relationship to men, you know, her first husband extorted her, and then Aristotle left her for Jackie Kennedy. So that to me is what she's a summation of the tragedies of all the operas that she played in, that she could never achieve the love and adoration that she had from the many.
Wow. Wow. You can't help but think about what she would think about all this when you're living in all of these moments, and you know, what would she say about, you know, everything about it? But for you, it was, like you said, a scary endeavor to step into this. What do you think, looking back on it, has been the most satisfying aspect of what you got to do on screen? Because you've done so much that we've seen you do over the years, but I feel this one, it's almost like you had to go and do everything you did up until this point to do a role like Maria in a lot of ways. So I'm curious, what aspects of it are you really taking with you after this?
Thank you. I early on listened to her explain how to perform. I've never played a performer before. I've never stepped in the shoes of another actress, seeing the choices she made for a role and then doing the choices she made for the role. But what she really did for me, and I don't want to get emotional, but what she really did is, you know, our business can be, we can sometimes lose sight of what it's like, what it's all about, and why we do this. And just to be a creative person working with other creative people and sharing stories and narratives with each other and audiences. That's what I've always loved, and it's why I do it, and it's why it was such a pleasure and such a gift to be an artist, right? You all are. And there's so much focus. Ever since I was young, there's so much focus on the business side of it, or who does what, or who's, and it's not just the life as an artist. So she made me remember how much I love being an artist.
Well, I'm even more grateful that you got to play her, because we love watching you be an artist on screen. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you for watching.
Thank you.